Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today is the 1st of April 2023. It's a Saturday and I'm currently on the way to the gym, which some people might see as a bit silly on a Saturday, but the way I'm trying to live at the moment, I see weekends as for the week. So yeah, I try not to let the weekend hold me back from staying on track. I've got nothing against people that do rest at the weekends. You know, it is important to rest. And to be honest, my main stumbling block at the moment in terms of me living how I want to live is my sleep. I really need to work on, you know, getting myself to bed at a sensible hour, getting up a bit earlier so that I can ultimately do more work. I hope you're all doing really well. Massive shout out to everyone who's been in touch, you know, who I've been chatting to through the internet recently. Really cool to hear your stories, and yeah, loads of you always getting in touch with your positivity as well, which I really appreciate. A couple of days ago on Thursday, I went to my second ever boxing class, which was awesome. It was with a different instructor, very intense, but absolutely loving it. I'm actually gonna join up to that boxing club properly next Tuesday. So yeah, I'll be sort of committing to going once a week. You can just pay as you go, but I think if I actually get a membership, it's gonna, you know, be another reason for me to, you know, keep at it. I actually bought myself a pair of gloves before Thursday's session, just because the communal ones at the boxing club, yeah, they make your hands absolutely stink. And I actually bought some boxing gloves from the boxing club, which, you know, I'm assuming are half decent. They're only 35 quid. But yeah, I did notice that you can buy them for like 12 quid in sport and soccer. So any of you guys thinking about getting into boxing and you want to do it on a real budget, you know, 12 quid is not a lot of money at all. Anyway, that's enough about boxing. And today I just want to have a bit of a chat with you while I'm on the way to the gym. I'm still, you know, in really good shape mentally, physically, spiritually, still going through my routine every day. If any of you are new to this channel and you want to know exactly what my routine is, go and watch the video that I made a few videos ago explaining my routine that, you know, helps keep me on track and keeps me away from drink and drugs. I'm now 81 days clean. Never realistically thought that it would be possible, if I'd, you know, being honest with myself, for me to stay away from drink and drugs this long. And, you know, I'm still 100% staying on this clean life, you know. If I'm honest, my mind has been, you know, fantasizing about the idea of, you know, sniffing cocaine and drinking again, which it always will, you know. I fully understand that my mind is always gonna throw these ideas at me, because my mind's not always there to serve me, you know. It is trying to trip me up, and ultimately I am an addict. You know, these things, as far as I'm concerned, these things don't go away. You just sort of learn to deal with them. But, you know, if you stay focused on a healthy life, then, you know, those negative things, there's less chance that they're going to overcome you. Now, what I want to get into today, it kind of follows on from the video I made recently where I said that, you know, you can choose your own personality. You can choose to, you know, do what you want to do and not allow the world around you and your mind and your past experiences and the people around you sort of decide what you're doing in your life. You know, you can create your own personality, and, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. You know, my natural personality is a degenerate waste man drug addict, and I have decided that I'm not having that. I'm going to be a healthy, strong, driven person, and that is what I'm doing day to day. You know, it's harder than being a degenerate drug addict, obviously, but it is possible, and I'm proving it day by day. And, you know, as I've mentioned, you know, already in this video, my mind does always throw up, you know, for example, fantasies about taking drugs. And in the past, the fact that it's, you know, ruins me financially, ruins my health, could potentially ruin my relationship, my girlfriend, you know, all these things, you know, I've mentioned how I was stealing drugs from packages that were being sent through the post at my old day job. You know, I was risking my job, you know, risking going to prison, you know, like driving around under the influence. And none of those things were able to stop me from being a degenerate, you know. The one thing that's different now is having this channel. And I know that it's helping loads of you out there, which makes me feel really good about myself, but it really is helping me as well. Like, it's amazing, you know, the fact that I'm, you know, opening up and explaining what my problems are and talking you guys through what's going on in my mind, and also sharing all the knowledge that I've picked up over 15 plus years of studying self-help, because I've been studying this stuff for years. Even when I was, you know, in my addiction, you know, I'd go through spells where, you know, years and years and years ago, where I wouldn't use for ages, or even when I was using, you know, I was still studying this stuff and persuading myself that, you know, I am improving myself, but still taking drugs, which, you know, is nonsense. You know, I need to live a clean life. So yeah, you know, having this opportunity to share all this, which seems to be helping loads of you guys, is amazing. And just having this channel and voicing what's going on in my mind, and this is very different than any other attempt I've had at giving up drugs. And the one main difference is the fact that I've got this channel, and the journaling as well, to be honest, because that's one of the things I've added to my routine this time. You know, the fact that I'm literally writing down my thoughts every day, you know, it means that I'm reminding myself that I am staying on track now. You know, I'm analysing in a way, like, the thoughts that have been going through my mind. You know, where I said to you earlier in this video that my mind has been, you know, fantasizing about using, like, I'll write that in my journal. And then hopefully, you know, and I believe that I'm strong enough that hopefully when these thoughts come up to me when I'm kind of in a position where I could end up using, you know, where I'm on my own, where I'm near my dealer, or whatever, you know, when my girlfriend does night shift, which is, you know, one of the times where I've really sort of let myself down all the time in the past. You know, I've already addressed and acknowledged these thoughts, so, you know, hopefully they won't overcome me, especially when I'm trying to stay on track and keep healthy, etc, etc. But yeah, one thing I wanted to go into today, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, is the idea that you should make yourself the most important person in your life. Now, that might sound a bit selfish, especially for you guys out there that have got children. I don't have children, but ultimately, if you make yourself the most important person in your life, that will ultimately rub off on your children. You know, for you to do the best job as a parent, you need to be the best person you can be, which means you need to make you the most important person in your life. And equally, if, like me, you don't have children, but you've got, you know, old parents. You know, obviously, I love my parents dearly. And a lot of people would say, yeah, you know, I love my parents more than I love myself. Well, in my opinion, you're better off loving yourself more than anyone, literally, yeah, no matter what situation you're in. Because ultimately, your parents have brought you up. You know, you are carrying on the legacy of your bloodline, yeah? So really and truly, they would want you to be the most important person in your life. And ultimately, we are here after millions and millions of years of evolution. You know, we are the latest ones in the line of, you know, humankind. So we should be the best version of human beings that have ever lived, right? So, you know, always put yourself first. Like, don't allow your mind to tell you that it's selfish. It's not selfish, because by you being the best person you can be, it means that you're able to ensure that you're doing the best you can for people around you as well. Now, another way of looking at this is, you know, if you are like someone who's got low self-esteem, yeah, then ultimately you probably are going through life comparing yourself to other people. And whether you care to admit it or whether you've realised it yet, you are putting other people above you, and that's not good. If you go through life making yourself the most important person in your life, then it's going to help you with your self-esteem, or it's going to give you the drive you need to make changes in your life to make yourself more confident, or whatever it is, you know, healthier, stronger, whatever it is. And listen, just because you consider yourself the most important person, it doesn't need to be sort of ego driven. You don't want to look down at other people. You know, they're not beneath you. You know, we're all equal, but you should make sure that you are the most important person to you. That's going to help you strive to be the best person you can be. It's also going to give you less excuse to not be the best person you can be, right? Because if you're the most important person in your life, then of course you're going to strive to be the best person you can be. You know, the way I'm living at the moment, yeah, you know, I love my girlfriend, I love my parents, you know, I love everyone who follows me online, you know, I love everyone, but no one's more important than me, yeah, because it's my job to make me as good as I can. especially after years and years and years of being a waste man and, you know, pretending that I don't care, you know, about life and stuff, you know. That's just a cop-out. You know, if you're the kind of person who's, oh yeah, I don't care about my health, I don't care about myself, you know, you might be depressed. I'm not saying depression isn't real, but it is kind of a cop-out. Yeah, if you focus on making yourself into the best person you can be, you know, make yourself the most important person in your life, then I feel that's a better way to be. You know, as Andrew Tate says, yeah, there's no negatives, no downsides to going through life thinking you are the man, yeah? And if you don't think that you are the man, you know, if you don't think that you are super important, then it means you need to work on yourself. So, you know, use that as your reason to work on yourself. You know, when I sort of analysed myself and thought about it, you know, I was a degenerate, I was a waste man, I was a drug addict, yeah? Now, I could pretend that, oh, I don't care about that and just carry on taking drugs. Or I could say, do you know what? I do care about that. I am important. I am the most important person in my life. No one else is gonna, you know, dig me out of this hole that I've got myself into by being a degenerate, and it's time to change. And that is what I've been doing for the last 81 days, and long may it continue. All right, so I'm all parked up and it's time for me to get in the gym, but I hope what I've said in this video kind of makes some sort of sense. You know, I really think that, you know, there's a lot of low self-esteem in the world, and I've been there. But, you know, it really helps me to realise that I am important. I am the most important person in this world, to me. You know, if I can keep thinking like that and keep bettering myself on a day-to-day basis, then what's the harm in it? You know, it's doing me a lot of good. And I think if everyone viewed themselves a bit higher, then the whole world would be better. And ultimately, you know, just because you believe that you're the most important person, it doesn't mean that there's not room for error. In fact, it's a reason to improve yourself. You owe it to yourself to better yourself on a day-to-day basis. You owe it to yourself to live up to the fact that you are the most important person in the world. And the truth is that you can better yourself. You can be whatever you want. As I've said before, you know, your reticular activation system, you don't believe what you see what you believe. If you truly believe that whatever you're striving for is possible, you will get there. If you truly believe that what you're striving for isn't possible, then you won't get there, regardless of how possible it is. Because you are the most important person in your life, you deserve to build your character, build yourself into the person you want to be. You know, whatever that may be. You know, for me, it's staying off drugs, staying healthy, getting bigger, going to the gym, getting myself fitter, getting myself looking better, getting myself feeling better. You know, I want to get to a stage where I'm like working a lot harder and more efficient. You know, sleep is a big issue for me at the moment. All these things are possible to change. Like, I fully believe that. If I didn't fully believe it, then there wouldn't even be any point trying. But on top of that, because I'm the most important person in my life, I owe it to myself to continually improve my life and work on the things where I'm lacking. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Do put any thoughts you have in the comments as usual, and I'll get back to you. But yeah, I need to get myself in the gym, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.